Morning. It's Thursday, February 17th, and this morning I'm going to tell you about a historic suit that has been won. A settlement in a case of a mass gun shooting has been won. The families of the children who were killed in the Sandy Hook shooting sued Remington, a bankrupt gun manufacturer, and won a settlement of $73 million. Now this is historic. This is a monumental win because in 2005 there was a federal law that was written that protected gun manufacturers from being sued. But because of the actions of Remington and their advertising campaigns, the suit was allowed to go forward by the Supreme Court in 2019 because of the advertising practices of Remington, which encouraged people to buy guns in the way that used the military as an example in their advertising practices. And so those advertising practices left Remington and probably many other gun manufacturers exposed now to suits. And the victims' parents who were involved in this suit have proclaimed that they were going to go out and win this suit. And they did not accept a smaller settlement. They got the full $73 million, which is all the money that the insurance companies could pay them based upon the bankruptcy of Remington. So these parents were determined to win this suit. They did not accept earlier, smaller settlements. They wanted everything they could possibly get from Remington. And who can blame them? These little children, 5, 6, 7 years old, shot. So they went after Remington with all they had. The parents in this suit were not only after Remington. They were out to prove that all gun manufacturers are not bulletproof, that they cannot use advertising practices that are deceptive to get more people to buy their product. In this particular case with the Remington, the advertising around their high-powered rifle, multi-shooting machine was deceptive, was deemed to be beyond the ken. It was deemed to make people buy and think that this weapon was a wonderful thing and you could use it to save your lives or something. So this is a lesson. This is a lesson to all gun manufacturers that the law that was written in 2005 can be overcome if they have done anything that creates an atmosphere that it's okay to have a gun and it's okay to shoot people. The families who sued obtained and can make public thousands of pages of internal company documents that prove Remington's wrongdoing and carry important lessons for helping to prevent future mass shootings. So these documents are sitting there and they can be made available if there's another mass shooting. And that puts many of the gun manufacturers in the gun sights of people who feel that they have contributed to the mass shooting. So now gun manufacturers can be in the sights of anybody that wants to sue, and they can't escape by blaming everybody else and absolving themselves of any responsibility for the gun violence that occurred using one of their weapons. A side effect of this suit may be the issue of insurance companies and whether or not they will be reluctant to take on a gun manufacturer as a client. Or maybe if they're smart, they will take them on, but they'll double their pricing or something like that. So this is a very, very interesting and win for the general public. So let's hope that this landmark, historic victory, sends a message, a compelling message to manufacturers and to the insurance and banking industries that support them. They should now recognize that this is a high-risk market. It may not be profitable. And if anything goes wrong, slightly wrong, you can be held accountable. Imagine that. Imagine that banks and insurance companies and gun manufacturers could be held responsible for any kind of mass shootings. And let's extend that a little bit. Let's think about organizations like the NRA. What is their responsibility in this type of episode? I think they could be held responsible too. In fact, they could be held responsible for any mass shooting. I think they should be the defendant in any case where a shooting is involved. Imagine that. Every time there's a shooting, the NRA becomes part of the suit. That will drive them crazy. And maybe that would be a good thing. Now, obviously, that probably won't happen. But I think it's a great idea if anybody associated with these manufacturers of weapons of mass destruction. Because these are not ordinary pistols we're talking about. The gun that killed these kids was a Bushmaster, an AR-15 type weapon. It's not the kind of thing that the average person needs. So there's a lot to think about with the winning of this suit and how many tentacles can be extended from this victory. First step will occur soon when the plaintiffs in this case release all the documents that they collected for the suit. That will point fingers in many different directions. And so this thing is not over. I think this is the beginning of a new era in the fight against gun violence, because now this 2005 law has sort of been, I won't say overturned, but a loophole has been discovered. I wouldn't be surprised if the gun manufacturers try to close that loophole by getting the government rewrite the law, perhaps, to upgrade the law so they are avoiding this type of suit. But that all depends on how much money they're willing to pay the congressman to do that. And I leave you with those thoughts this morning. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.